And today we're actually going to be going through the best clippers of 2026. I'm going to do this one live because you guys have been really rocking with the lives. But to start this story off, let's go back in time a little bit. Do you remember when you were younger and you first started going to the club and it was just full of all these women and there was hardly any good looking ones, maybe one or two? Well, back in the day, that one good looking woman was the Magic Clip from Wall. It was really the first like usable cordless clipper that many of us used, right? And since then, Wall has made update after update to that same platform, but in 2026, there's a lot of good-looking ladies out there. So with that being said, we're going to go through all of the different stuff that is available for you guys today. You guys can feel free to ask questions, drop them in the chat, and I will answer them. And we're going to go through these in no particular order, but when we're done, we're going to name a good budget option, a higher end option, my personal favorite options, and we're gonna rock right through it. All right. And Stylecraft has created an awful lot of clippers. Over the last 2 years, they've probably dropped the most out of any of the other companies, and I have not included every single one of them here. But like I said, if you guys got questions about any of them, we'll go ahead and we'll rock and roll. So let's start out with the 2023 best clipper of the year. This was 2023's top option. This was my personal favorite. What up, Neil? Welcome. And this is just the Rebel. All right, the Rebel has 3 hours of runtime, a super torque rotary motor, and this is the latest update to it. And you can actually get this one in a combo set with the trimmer as well for a little over 200. I think it's like 220, 230, somewhere in that range. And I also wanted to mention, guys, there's gonna be some pretty big Black Friday deals, which is one of the reasons why I'm doing this today versus doing like that long form video content that you guys usually see me uploading. And we do have something from Babyliss on the list. Don't worry. We actually got a couple things from Babyliss on the list. So with the Rebel, you're going to be getting that Vapor blade, and you're going to be getting the click lever. And it's a fairly quiet, good, and affordable option. So if we were talking about budget picks, this would certainly be in my top picks for a budget clip that just does a really good job. How's the mic sound, by the way, guys? It just does a really good job of pretty much everything from removing bulk to fading. It's pretty forgiving. It feels really good in the hand. It has a lot of runtime with 3 hours USB, micro USB charging, and it just feels good in the hand. So this was 2023's winner, and since then there's a lot of things that have come out that really seem to beat this clipper. But if you're on a budget and you're looking for a good option, this is a great call. The next one we're going to run through is JRL. Okay, so this is the JRL Onyx, and this clipper is honestly a beast. It's super quiet. You can hardly hear it run. It has kind of their rendition of a Vapor blade on it, but we're going to get into some blades that do some different things here in a few. But this JRL Onyx is probably one of my favorite clippers from them. It's got a really smooth lever. It is a tiny bit more spongy. If you notice, there's like a little bit of play in between each one of these. Some people are gonna like it, some people might not. The round shape of it is a little different than, say, some of the other options that are out there. Me personally, I do prefer to have like a flat spot, but they do have a little bit of a flat spot back here. So this is not something that would stop me from working with it, but 4 hours of runtime on their low setting and 5 hours of runtime on their high setting. So awesome option, really good for bulk removal, very good for fading, pretty forgiving clipper all the way around. Every clipper that we're listing on this list currently is probably over $100, but I can actually mention one other thing that is at 100 or under 100. So that's the JRL Onyx, guys. If you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. I'll go back to them. So let's go on to the next one on the list. I actually wanted to use the Tomb 45 clipper, but Denny took it home. So we don't have the Tomb 45 clipper from Babyliss, but I would say if you're going with Babyliss, if you want a good compact option that has some good runtime and it's a fun clipper to use, the Tomb 45 clipper from Babyliss, this is their trimmer. So I'm just using this one as an example, but this is their trimmer, kind of the same coloring, kind of the same shaping. And the difference is it's kind of shorter and fatter, but all around a pretty damn good clipper. If you guys are looking for something outside of, you know, the other options here, that's probably my personal favorite from Babyliss right now. However, Babyliss did just release a pretty good budget set. Now, none of these are really overwhelming when it comes to performance, but they are kind of lower cost. So you can get all three of these. I don't know exactly the price, but I think they're like $2 and change. They're not very expensive to get a clipper, trimmer, and shaver. And the trimmer is pretty good. The clipper, kind of underwhelming. And the shaver, definitely underwhelming. But if you're on a budget and you need something that'll do good work for you, that's pretty decent option right there. Double tap the middle of the screen if you guys are enjoying the video. We always just try to get to 100 likes if we can. That would be great. So moving our way up the list a little bit, we talked about the Rebel when we started, but basically the Rebel is what kind of inspired the boosted up clipper. Now with the boosted up clipper, you get a couple different advantages. And one being that the motor has more power. It has USB-C charging, but if you're a fan of the housing of the Rebel, you'll like that a lot. And you're gonna have a good time, you know, with the clicks. Everything is pretty much the same. You get more power. And I do wanna say that you can get the Echo Crunch blade, which is really the big wave in technology. Over the last like year or so, when we think about how things have progressed in the barber industry, it's taken a long time for us to get to this point. And now we're kind of at the point where bodies and motors and shapes, if you find those things that you like, what you can actually look at closer is the blades. So when it comes to the blades, there's two blades that have really taken over the scene. We're gonna get to that, but one is the Echo Crunch blade, and all of the blades on Stylecraft and Gamma are interchangeable, and you could go ahead and you could put them on any of the clippers. So boosted up is a great option. It's a little step up from the Rebel, but it's not like a giant leap, and it's not a giant leap in price either. So these are the two here. Let's talk about Wahl for a second, guys. Wahl came out with the Vapor. Yours will not look like mine. Mine has a click lever and it has a Echo Crunch blade on here. But I will say that if you put the Echo Crunch blade on the Wahl Vapor, it really turns it into quite a good machine. This is their first time putting a digital brushless motor in here, so you guys can hear kind of how this powers up. So it slowly kind of comes to power. So if you're like one of these people that's turning it off and on a lot, if you like having the switch on the side, the shape of it is pretty good. And overall, Wahl set out to create like a pretty nice clipper at a really fair price point. And for that, I think they succeeded. It comes with their F32 fade out blade, which I found pretty good for removing harsh guidelines, but I didn't find it too great for everything else. And if I got this clipper, the first thing I would do would be swap out this blade for the Echo blade. And then I think you guys would really enjoy using this. This one comes with a floating taper normally, so it's not gonna click like the way mine does. But sooner or later, Stylecraft is gonna release a lever that will fit on here, and you guys will get the clicks, and you can put them on pretty much any clipper that doesn't come with one. So that's Wahl. And then for whatever reason, Wahl decided to release basically another Magic Clip. To me, this just screams Magic Clip. It screams retro, and it does have a pretty interesting blade. This is like Wahl's like T taper blade looking thing. And honestly, the blade is really not that bad. It's kind of easy to work with, but I despise this clipper on pretty much every level, from low runtime, no USB-C charging, really nothing about this clipper when you get this will impress you. But I guess you buy this if you're just like a fan of Wahl in general. So maybe that's why you would buy this. But like anybody I hand this to, the very first thing they're like, yo, what is this? It's 2026 and this just doesn't feel like it fits in for me. But again, if you guys want to purchase anything outside of Stylecraft and Gamma, you guys can head over to Fort Worth Barber Supply. They too will be doing some good Black Friday deals, as well as use the code Eddie10 and save yourself some money. So I'm not really trying to come out here and hate on Wahl. It's just like what you put up, what you put on the table, it's not great. And you know, I think barbers are starting to see that there's a lot of other options out here. I mean, even if I just grab something random off the table, this JRL blows the doors off for this for a very similar price. The Boosted Up blows the doors off of this. The Rebel blows the doors off of this. The Vapor, their very own Vapor, blows the doors off of this. So I don't see where that could possibly fit in. So personally, I wouldn't recommend it. So let's get down to some of the other great options that are actually out here. And this is when it starts to get good. So one of the best vector motor clippers, and for those of you guys who don't know, vector motors can speed up when they sense resistance. So if I try to stop this blade, listen to what it does. What's up, dude? Say what up to the people.
Where we tuning in from?
Where are we tuning in from, guys? All right, so the vector motor can speed up when it senses resistance. One of the things that we ran into with some of the earlier vector motors was we actually had a baseline of 11,500 RPMs, right? And it would rev up to kind of stay there when you ran into resistance. Well, what this one has done is this dropped it down to 9,500 RPMs for the baseline, which makes it quieter, smoother, and just overall more enjoyable. And all the vector motors are going to be updated to these as they go. So the other feature that really stands out here is this has 6 positions on the click lever. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which means it has a stretch bracket, which allows you to have a little bit more latitude when you're blending. And it also has the little removable top, the lid, the drop top lid, so you can keep it clean. It's a metal rear housing, plastic top housing, and you can change these accent colors to kind of suit whatever you want. And the price of this is somewhere in the neighborhood of $240, but again, there's going to be some pretty good Black Friday deals. So if you're looking for anything in particular, this is a great time to buy. I would check them out right now. And with Stylecraft and Gamma, let's just say you're watching this after Black Friday, you guys can use the code Eddie10. You can use the code Eddie with Stylecraft, and you can save some money too. You'll find links in the description to those two things. But excellent for removing ball quickly, clipper over comb, and now with the addition of the stretch lever, it's really good for detailing. It's also good for detailing for the fact that they slowed the motor down a little bit. With the motor moving a little slower, it's just a little bit easier to detail your fades. Double tap the middle of the screen, guys. I know you guys like to see me normally like cut my own hair and stuff like that. That seems to get me the most likes, but obviously this is a lot of work to come in here and do this. This is one of the busiest days of the year for barbers, guys. Thanksgiving is tomorrow, so I came in here early to spend this morning with you guys and just show off some of the clippers. So here's the 360 Jeezy. A lot of people consider this one like their favorite clipper. It's just such a compact and unique housing. It's completely metal. This thing has the Echo Crunch blade on it, as well as the Exceed. The Exceed comes with the Echo Crunch blade on it as well. So a lot of people like this for a lot of different reasons. One being it's a great clipper, fades well, removes bulk well, does pretty much everything you would expect it to do well, has USB-C charging, a good amount of runtime, and if you buy this, you're kind of supporting an artist like 360 Jeezy as well. So 360 Jeezy was one of the first people on YouTube I seen making content, and I started making content shortly after that. And he's aligned himself with Stylecraft to help produce this clipper. And I think there's going to be some more collaboration to go with him. So this is a really cool clipper, and it has a cool little grip on the side. This is actually rubber, so you can kind of get a better grip on it. You can hold on to it, and you can rock and roll with it. And yeah. So if you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. I'm just going to keep on moving because I don't want to make this video too long. So we're getting down to my 2 favorite clippers and the ones that I would recommend the highest. And the first one is the Sabre 2. So Sabre 2 has the digital brushless motor. It comes with the Echo Crunch blade. It has USB-C charging. It comes with the stand, the tight guards, the double magnetic tight guards that you guys see me using all the time on all the lives, 2 magnets. Most of the Stylecraft clippers do come with this now, and I will do trimmers in another video, but these are really the Cadillac of the shop, and everybody, I think almost everybody in here has a pair of them or uses them regularly. Like if I look around, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of us have one, and the only reason Sonny doesn't have one is because he's using the shorties, which I'll show you guys real quick because it's the exact same motor inside of the shorties. It's just a little bit different body style. It also has USB-C charging, and these are a little bit cheaper, but they do not come with the Echo Crunch blade. They come with a Vapor blade. So that's the only downside to this one, in my opinion. But also the really cool color waves. Like if you guys like these colors, and you want to have them, you're going to get the same performance essentially out of the Shorty as you will out of the Saber, but there's something about this flat shape of the Saber. It's just super comfortable in your hand. It's very small, very ergonomic. So for me, I'm gonna say it's kind of a toss-up because I think this is probably my favorite clipper. It's charged and ready to go for a busy day right before Thanksgiving, so I'll be using this a ton. But another clipper and the latest clipper that Stylecraft has dropped would be the Rain. And this is such a special clipper because one, it's very compact. Just like these two really just feel like they kind of work together really well. They're both super compact. They're very small and powerful. They feel super good in the hand. And the difference here with the Rain is the Rain comes with this Echo Crunch taper blade. So if you see how this blade is curved, whereas the regular Echo blade is straight, the curve in this blade, what this allows you to do, this allows you to flick and detail, and you can really, really hear. And that's the big difference over the last year or so is we're starting to put a lot of emphasis on what you can hear when you cut. So you can hear this crunch sound, right? And when you're using that and you stop hearing the crunch sound, you know that that section is done. And it's time to either click the lever or move on to the next step. If you're a beginner barber, if you're brand new to the industry, this clipper would be extremely easy for you to start learning how to cut hair with. So if you start with this, you're gonna get the haptic feedback, you're gonna get all the benefits of everything, and you're really gonna be able to grow into this clipper well. So this Rain clipper and this Stylecraft clipper, these are my two tops. If I had to pick one over the other, I would probably pick the Rain, just because if you work with a taper blade, even if you gotta have this like little bit of a learning curve with it. If you work with the taper blade, you're going to find so much of your job so much easier as you go. So little by little, you're gonna fall in love with this. And the only thing that this is gonna struggle with, in some cases, if you put the guideline in a little bit too harsh, let's say I put it in with a really zero gap trimmer. If I do that, I might not be able to get it out with this blade because this blade's not designed to cut that close, whereas the Saber is. So if you were only picking one, I would pick the Saber. If you can afford both of these, this would be the main things I cut hair with. Like, I got a million things. You guys see it. I literally have a bag in the back that weighs 50 pounds full of clippers that have been released over the last couple of years. And it just doesn't get much better than these two. So the other one that some of you guys are asking for, like a budget option, I don't have a pair of Rogue. You got a Rogue, actually? Let me see your Rogue for a second. Perfect. So the Rogue here from Stylecraft is actually just it's just a stripped down version of the Ergo. So this is one of the clippers that really built Stylecraft and Gamma. The Rogue is a $99 special here, and it's probably gonna be even cheaper than that come Black Friday, but this is basically all the benefits you get from having an Ergo, which an Ergo is a magnetic motor, and what they do is they kind of slow down a little bit when they sense resistance, which means that you can kind of flick and find yourself in sections you really shouldn't be in, and you're not gonna create an issue in your haircut as easily. So if you're a beginner and you're on a budget and you're looking to learn how to start fading, when it comes to fading, the Rogue or the Ergo clippers, you're gonna find them pretty easy to work with. So that's kind of like the best budget option I think that is currently on offer this year. But you know, as you guys can see, there's a lot of good stuff to pick from. So if we just do a quick recap here, we're gonna say my favorite two clippers, definitely gonna be the Stylecraft Saber 2.0. This one just happens to be white. They come in gold and black, and the Rain clipper. And those are the two that I'm most impressed with, using the most. When the cameras are off, when it's not lights, camera, action time, those are the two that I'm using. So those are my two personal favorite. Everything on this list cuts good hair, guys. It wouldn't be here if it didn't cut good hair, except for the wall thing. But other than that, everything else on here is good. Now, the budget option, just to recap, we talked about the Stylecraft Rogue. You guys can get that usually for around $99. And the JRL that we talked about, somebody's asking right now, this was the JRL Onyx. We talked about this one here. Also a great clipper if you can get it for a good price. And if you like the round body shape, because really, like I said, guys, the 2026 lineup of cordless clippers is kind of crazy when you think about how far we've come, because we had so little for so long, like nothing was happening. It was always the same. And then it was like, bam, over the course of 2 years, clippers just started raining from the sky, and every company started dropping good cordless clippers that are really usable and honestly work better than some of the original corded versions do. So, you know, with that being said, guys, subscribe if you're not already. Drop some comments in the chat. Drop some comments down below if you guys have any questions. If you're watching this, you know, after it's been recorded, this was live, and we will be doing a follow-up on the trimmers, the shavers, and I think I'm also going to include some of the single foil shavers, because there's more single foil shavers out here than ever. So we will be back. And if you guys are going to order, you guys can see there'll be links in the description down below. And happy Thanksgiving to all of you out there. And thank you guys so much for watching me. If you guys could double tap the middle of the screen on the way out, it would be much appreciated. Hopefully I provided you guys some good information. And one of the reasons why I did it today was because of the fact that there are going to be so many deals online over the next couple of days. So I really wanted you guys to have this information ahead of time. So, alrighty, y'all. I'll catch you guys in the next one. We're going to be doing the trimmers next and the shavers. We'll catch you guys over there. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Peace.